One of these burgers costs more than a pair of AirPods. The other one, cheaper than a subway ride. Inside one of them, an ingredient that's banned in the UK, Germany, India, and in California, you can get fined just for selling it. I'm building both from scratch, counting every single dollar. And by the end, I'll answer one question. Is the expensive burger worth it, or does the cheap one hold its own? Let's go.
This is illegal in California.
For the expensive burger, French brioche, soft, buttery, classic French baking. Butter, eggs, everything done right. Pack of 4, $6, and for the cheap one, this, $1 for the pack of 6. Let's see what we're working with. Okay, it's soft, doesn't fall apart, smells like, well, bread. Nothing special, but nothing terrible either. Honestly, for a burger at this price, totally fine. Next up, for the expensive burger, shallots, milder, sweeter, more complex than regular onion. This is what high-end restaurants use, and there is a reason for that. $3 for a bag. We start with a generous amount of butter, medium heat. Once the butter melts and starts foaming, in go the shallots. Low and slow, no rush. We want them soft, golden, almost caramelized. And right at the end, a splash of Worcestershire sauce. That's gonna give them this deep, savory, almost meaty flavor. All of this is going straight inside the patty. And for the cheap one, regular yellow onion, 50 cents a pop. Slice it up and into the pan, but not with butter, with vegetable oil. No fancy stuff, just fry it until it's soft, golden, fragrant, gets the job done. Goes right on the bottom bun. Now the meat. Ideally, you'd go with Wagyu A5, but I couldn't find any, so I went with quality farm-raised beef. 80-20. Set me back about $25, but good meat alone isn't enough. Remember those shallots? They're going straight inside along with a chunk of butter. When this patty hits the heat, that butter melts from within and soaks through every single layer. We shape it 200 to 220 grams, 7 to 8 ounces, heavy, thick, and it just sits in your hand like a brick. Next, brie, cutting thick slices, and just look what's inside. Firm rind on the outside, but the slightest squeeze and soft, creamy, almost oozing out. That's exactly what's about to go on the patty. Pan is screaming hot. Meat goes down. On top, thick slices of brie, and now the best part. So much fat in the pan that we grab a spoon, scoop it up, and pour it right over the top. Again and again, cheese melting, dripping down the meat, and this right here is why I filmed this stuff. Now, the cheap one, I found the cheapest patties in the store, $3. This is what we're working with. Break them into small balls, about 75 grams each, roughly 2.5 ounces. Because we're making smash burgers, ball goes on a screaming hot pan and we're pressing it down. Flat, thin, maximum contact with the surface, which means maximum crust. Sear one side, flip, salt, pepper, nothing else. And on top, American cheese. Melts instantly, wraps around the patty. Simple, cheap, and it smells so good. You already want to take a bite. For the expensive burger, there's one more layer going on top of the patty. Remember I mentioned a banned ingredient? Well, here it is. Foie gras. The duck liver that'll get you fined in California and flat out banned in the UK, Germany, and India. $60. And yeah, it's going in a burger. Let me open this up. This is what it looks like. Gotta try a piece of this. Oh, this is just pure fat. Melts on your tongue instantly. You don't even need to chew. Alright, so let's cut it. Thick slices, and this matters. Going thin makes no sense here. We need to feel it in every single bite. Next, dry, screaming hot pan. No oil. This thing puts on about more than enough fat on its own. 1 minute each side, golden crust on the outside, and the inside, it's turned into cream. Now, pay attention. All that fat that rendered into the pan, not a single drop gets wasted. We take our brioche, press it right into the pan, and we let it soak up every last drop. Oh yeah. Toast it, and now this bun is drenched in foie gras fat. This is what we're building the expensive burger on. Now the sauce for the expensive burger. And no, it's not ketchup. Got a pear, big, ripe, juicy. Core it out, dice it up. All right, gotta try this. Oh, it's so sweet. like honey. Seriously, exactly what we need. Throw 2 good chunks of butter into the pan, wait for it to melt, and you start foaming. Then in goes the pear. Start sauteing, cubes slowly soften, caramelize, and at some point, it all turns into this smooth golden mixture. And once the pear is ready, splash in some cognac. Nothing fancy. Went with a cheaper bottle for $22 because we're here for the flavor, not the label. The alcohol cooks off and the pear soaks in all that caramel cognac flavor. Just look at this, thick, glossy. It looks like fancy jam. Let me try. Oh, this is unreal. Pear, caramel, cognac, all in one. This sauce alone ran me about $27. As a burger sauce? Perfect. And the sauce for the cheap burger, throwing it together with whatever we've got. Ketchup, mayo, sriracha, garlic powder, paprika, ground pepper. Fried onion goes in too. All the sauce ingredients, about $3. Mix it all up and look what we got. Let me try. Oh, that's actually good. Little bit of a kick, just the right balance of heat and sweet for a sauce made from whatever was lying around the kitchen. A solid result. All right, time to build the expensive burger, and something like this, you gotta pair it right. Pinot Noir goes perfectly with that pear and caramel sweetness, so we're popping a bottle of red. That's an additional $24. All right, let's build it. Onto the toasted bun, a generous layer of pear sauce. Thick, don't hold back. This is the flavor foundation right here. Oh, wait. I forgot the Roquefort. Should have gone right here on top of the pear. Salty, sharp. Would have cut through all that sweetness perfectly. The kind of contrast that takes a burger to a whole other level. On the second burger, off camera, I added it, and honestly, it was even better. All right, moving on. The patty with melted brie right onto the sauce. Now the foie gras. Carefully, 2 thick slices on top of the patty. Hit it with some Parmesan, that salty umami layer that rounds the whole thing out. And the final touch, red caviar. Every little bead pops in your mouth and brings this briny ocean note that ties everything together. Sweet, salty, rich. Close it with the top bun, and just look at this thing. Brie melting out of the sides, caviar glistening on the top, the layers stacked tight. This isn't a burger. This is a statement. And for this guy, forget the wine. This is a Pepsi burger through and through. On the bottom bun, our sauce, nice and thick. Pile on the fried onions. Now the star, triple smash patty, cheese melting on every single one. Stack them up and close it with the top bun. Extra sauce on the lid, and look at this. Classic. Cheese dripping down the sides, sauce oozing out, and you can see every layer through the edges. This is the burger you grew up on. Just better. All right, before we taste anything, let's talk numbers. Here's what each burger actually cost. The expensive one came out to around $199. With everything, foie gras, caviar, cognac, the wine, all of it. For that money, you're getting 3, maybe 4 burgers. Now the cheap one, $15.50. And out of that, you can pull off 3 to 4 burgers easily. Keep in mind, all prices are approximate and will vary from state to state. And if you're in California,
this is illegal in California.
Don't forget to add the fine on top. All right, moment of truth. Let's cut it in half. Just look at that. Just look at that. Everything is flowing. The brie, the sauce, the fat from the foie gras. It's all just melting together. You can see every single layer. Before I say anything, just listen to my reaction. This is the best burger I've ever had in my life. There's nothing harsh about it, nothing aggressive. It's just this wave of fat, sweetness, saltiness, and it all works together in a way I didn't think was possible. The pear cuts through the richness, the caviar pops and brings the salt, the foie gras just dissolves, everything just works. I'm giving this a 9.6. That makes it number 1 on the Burgerman rating. If you don't know what that is, it's a rating system where I rank every burger that I try. You might want to go check it out at burgerman.org or download the app on the App Store. Save recipes, rate your own burgers, add your favorites, it's all there. But here's the thing, we still have the cheap one, and the real question is, can a $15 burger compete with this? Well, let's find out. Alright, the cheap one, I actually made 2. A triple for me and a single for my girlfriend. Let's cut it in half and let's see what's going on inside. Oh, wow. Press down just a little and everything starts flowing. The cheese, the sauce, the onions, it's all melting into each other. Is it wrong that this looks better than it has any right to for the price? 8.4 though, and I'm not giving it out of pity. This is a genuinely solid burger. Crispy edges on every patty. The cheese is everywhere. The sauce has that kick. This is the classic burger we all grew up eating. The one you crave at 2 in the morning. The one that just works every single time. And here's the thing, one burger comes out to around $3 to $5, and that is it. For that money, you're getting a legit, delicious, no-nonsense burger that honestly would hold up against most fast food chains. You don't need foie gras and caviar to make something that hits. Sometimes, simple just wins. So here's the deal, the Foie Gras Burger, best burger of my life, no question. But am I making it every week? Nah, this is a once, maybe twice a year thing for special occasions. Meanwhile, the cheap one, oh yeah, that's my actual everyday food, and it's genuinely delicious. You've probably seen those YouTube videos, someone buys a $1,000 burger, a $10,000 burger, and yeah, it'll be the best thing you've ever tasted, but here's what nobody tells you. The price difference is 1,000%, and the taste difference? 10, maybe 15%. So you decide, is that 15% worth it to you? For me, man, I'll take the smash burger and a Pepsi. If you made it this far, hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to check out the Burgerman app on Google Play and the App Store, or visit burgerman.org, and I will see you in the next one.